Welcome to the Three Parallels podcast with your host, the Dr. Branch, where we rediscover who we were, embrace who we are, and make room for who we're trying to become. The content of this podcast is for informational, educational, and entertainment purposes only. The information shared, including any materials linked to this podcast, is not a substitute for professional advice, therapy, diagnosis, treatment from a physician, therapist, coach, or other qualified professional. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed are my own and do not reflect any of those organizations or affiliations that I may be connected with. This podcast is designed for edutainment purposes, which is the blend of education and entertainment. Viewer and listener discretion is advised. Gator Talk. Gator Talk is the post-show Q&A session for the podcast. Every Friday, let's get ready to take the Three Parallels podcast beyond the episode. Join me, 9 a.m. Pacific Time, 12 p.m. Eastern for Gator Talk, our exclusive post-show Q&A session. Kick back, relax, step into the living room, a space for open, laid-back conversations with your hosts, me, Dr. Jason Branch, and fellow listeners. Let's break it all down together, what resonated, what hit home, and what's shifting in your journey from who you were to who you are and who you are becoming. It's real, it's raw, it's Gator Talk. Don't just listen, join the conversation. See you Friday. The Gator Scales Journal. It's game time. The Three Parallels podcast just leveled up with a powerful new resource for your journey and transformation. Introducing the Gator Scales Journal, your personal guide to shifting you from who you were to embracing who you are and to recognize who you are becoming. This isn't just a journal, it's a game changer for your growth, mindset, and evolution. Click the link to order your copy today or check it out on Amazon. Take ownership of your progress and don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and comment. Let's get to work, baby Gators. Are you stuck in the trunk of your own car, watching life pass you by? It's time to slide into the driver's seat with a licensed therapist as your co-pilot. Whether it's your first time in therapy, you need a push for growth, or you finally ready to invest in your mental wellness, I got you. With over 20 years of experience, I help people move from who they were to embrace who they are and make room for who they're trying to become. Therapy with me is real, raw, intentional, authentic, and of course, hilarious. Let's break some cycles together, shift your mindset, and unlock your best self. I'm on the passenger side messing with the radio, holding the map up, and we're going wherever you would like to go. Give us a call today at 404-436-2540 or shoot me a text to book your free consultation. Check us out on the web at www.drjbranch.com. Look forward to connecting with you. Have a great day. Welcome back to the Three Parallels podcast with your host, the Dr. Jason Branch, where we rediscover who we were, embrace who we are, and make room for who we're trying to become. Welcome back to the show. My disclaimer, as you know, this show is not a substitute for therapy, so therefore get you a therapist. If you ain't got one, go get one. If you got one, you've been working with it for a while, but y'all not doing much, y'all having fun, you're paying for a friend. Get you a therapist. Every episode, every other episode, I'm going to highlight therapy. Why? Because I'm a therapist. Why? Because I feel as though everybody could benefit from therapy. So please don't use social media or this podcast or others to substitute work with a real therapist. So get you one, get you some. As you know, there's been a lot of development happening with this podcast, and I'm excited about it because you're here with me and you're still here and you're sharing the message, the word, the news, the information with other people, and it gets back to me. And I love to hear the stories of how people are impacted by this show. It means the world to me because I don't know what works and what doesn't. I'm just sharing what makes sense to me. I'm just sharing these ideas, thoughts, perception, reality, research, my experience. I'm just sharing, and I love hearing the benefits from this show. So I want to share a benefit with you all because if you've been on this journey, you've been hearing every episode and how the dots are connecting. So a couple episodes ago, um, with Gina, I mentioned about a laptop. We were talking about the law of attraction and the secret and attracting things and energy. And she had mentioned needing a laptop. And from that conversation, leading a laptop, it's like, yo, I got a laptop to give away. I want to give it to somebody I've had for a while. And fortunately, at that time, she was able to talk about needing a laptop and then attracting one. So she was good. But I did put out a call on the podcast. Hey, if you know of anybody who needs one, let me know. Guess what? Somebody reached out and let me know they needed a laptop. And I got that laptop for them. This show is helping people. This show is serving its purpose. This show is saving lives and giving people opportunities they didn't have before. And I'm thankful for that. So thank you all to the listeners for your support, for your love, for sharing the word, for sharing the news. I'm appreciative and I love how organic the show is. So had this laptop for years and it's been collecting dust and I've been wanting to give it away. Now I gave it to somebody who is connected to this show in different ways and connected to me that I didn't know even had the need. But they listened to the episode and was like, yo, I could use some help. Done and done. So this show is working. That's a tangible thing that someone's able to reap the benefits of the show. And there's a lot of things that you are also receiving from the show, and I'm thankful for that. So that's how we starting off. The law of attraction. This episode connects the dots to the laptop to the last few episodes, and I want to talk more specifically about the law of attraction based off of my life experience, how I practice it, and this is my introduction to you about the law of attraction. You may have heard about it before, you may not have. I want to dive into it, and that's what we're going to do on today's show. So, get you a pen, paper, notebook. The Gator Scale Journal is still available. Go get it. Go get it. But have you something to write with because I got some things for you to take, some tangible things that you can take with you from hearing this show. So let's dive in. Law of attraction. The law of attraction has been around since the beginning of time. Whether we know it or not, it's been there. And the law of attraction is attracting things instead of chasing it or going after certain things. Is allowing yourself to be still, to be present, to be available, to receive. So I have been practicing the law of attraction as long as I can remember, but I didn't even know I was doing it. It was just happening based off of what I would say, what I would do, what I would think, and what I would gain. What changed for me is when I became intentional about the law of attraction. And that intentionality came from exposure. The exposure was a show or a movie, I would say. The movie called The Secret. So if you haven't heard of the movie called The Secret, I challenge you now, go check it out ASAP. It was on Netflix for a while. You may or may not be able to find it on Netflix. It was on YouTube. It may not be the best quality, but you can get what you need. So I got introduced to The Secret from a couple people. Also, please pardon me. My health has not been the best this past month. So I'm a little stuffy, a little nasally. I don't like how I sound, but I don't care. I got something to say. And yes, I'm saying it differently because I'm nasally and snotty, but I still got something to say. So I'm going to say it, okay? So, The Secret, I was exposed. And the first exposure was a friend of mine was like, yo, read the book. It's a book called The Secret. Check it out. You know, Oprah does it. Everybody talks about it. Will Smith, all these different people. Oh, I want to talk about Will Smith being canceled too, which he didn't get canceled. But we'll talk about it. I'm adding that to my list. Sidebar. Yeah, I'm on one today. So a friend of mine was like, yo, read the book. I read the book. Well, I tried to read the book, couldn't get into it, fell asleep. Just didn't work. So then I moved to the audiobook. Tried the audiobook of The Secret, couldn't get into it. Started doing a little research about it, hearing Oprah talk about it and all these different celebrities talk about law of attraction, Denzel, all these different people. And it just didn't click, didn't register. And then the movie, The Secret, I finally saw that, and that was it. That's all it took for me. So this had to be back in 2012 where I saw the movie The Secret. And please check out the movie. There are no spoilers, really. So any spoiler will help you. So when I watched the movie, it exposed me to so many different things that's hidden in plain sight. As you know, we call those breadcrumbs. And a few people that was on the show was a lot of different people that's doing really well in their own space and place that were being interviewed on how they use the law of attraction to become successful in their own way. For example, the I'm sure you heard the series Chicken Soup for the Soul, Chicken Soup for the Teenager, and all these different things came out in the 90s. Jack Canfield is the author. He was on the episode and he was talking about how the book came into existence and that he had these ideas and these thoughts and basically used the secret to build this empire, this conglomerate that he's been able to establish. And one thing that he did is very similar to what Jim Carrey did. I'm sure you heard the story. Jim Carrey wrote a check to himself for I think like $1 million. He wrote a blank check to himself, put it in his wallet, and just kept working. Years and years and years go by, and he finally is able to cash that check. That's an example of law of attraction. Jack Canfield did the same thing where he put $1 million check on the ceiling of his bedroom. And every day he would look, that's the first thing he saw when he woke up, first thing he saw when he went to bed, that this $1 million check. And that book, his first series of that book, is how he became a millionaire. So The Secret, the movie, interviews all these different people that talks about their lived experience and how they used the secret to become the best version of themselves, where they created something, a product, and sold it or became someone that people wanted in order to make money or be successful, whatever the case may be. So The Secret is a phenomenal movie. If the movie don't catch you, try the book. The book don't catch you, try the audiobook. Audiobook don't catch you, try a different method. This has been something that was going on for me for a few years before it finally clicked. But once it clicked, that was it. That's all I needed. And now that I know it, now that I have it, I use it all the time. So um, that movie was where I became exposed to the parking space and vision boards. So I'll talk about both because that's what we're here for. Talk about it. So I'll start with vision board. So again, 2012 was the first time I ever created my first vision board, and since 2012, I've created vision board every single year since 2012. Now I got a little lax about it the past couple of years, just life been life, but outside of that, I create a vision board because it's images and ideas and words that we put out into paper, into reality, of things that we want to come to pass. So, for example, on The Secret, they talk about vision boarding, where, and Jack Canfield and other people talked about vision boarding, where you may look at magazine clippings, you could do it online, you can do it virtually. But I would clip out different things in magazines that I liked. And as I took these clippings out and put them on this poster board, put it on my wall in the bathroom, I put it in places where I could see it every day. These are the things that I wanted to have. And year after year, I would do this. And over time, a lot of things that I had on these vision boards would happen. For example, I put a cruise ship on one because I never took a cruise before. And within a year or two, I ended up going on a cruise. I went on a Christmas cruise. Like, who does that? I went on a Christmas cruise because I was in a place and space in my life where I wanted to break the mold. I wanted to break tradition. I wanted to get out of the same rut of doing the same thing every year. And this particular year, I decided I'm gonna go on a cruise for Christmas. Yeah, my parents, they were hot and they got over it. But initially they were upset because they didn't understand. Like, why would you choose a cruise over Christmas? And it was just like, Christmas is whatever we say it is. Holiday is whatever we say it is. Family is whatever we say it is. And we put meaning behind people, places, and things based off of what's valuable and important to us. But if I choose to do something for me, that doesn't mean I disagree, dislike, discredit, or undervalue you. It doesn't mean that. But we make meaning out of any and everything. So cruise was one. Different places and spaces. Mine was words. I love words. So a lot of different words or images or ideas I will put on my vision board and it will come to pass. So here we are all these years later, and I'll go back and reflect on my vision boards. I can always look at them. I can always pull them out and look at them and see what I've been able to accomplish, even related to children and marriage, degrees, everything that I've been able to accomplish in some capacity was on my vision board at one point in time. There's a story I'll tell at a later time related to a dream car that I finally got. And now I got a new dream car that I want to get. But I think I'll save that for an episode by itself because it is a story. One of my favorite stories of all time. So I'll share that with you when that time comes. So, The Secret, law of attraction, vision boarding. So if you've never vision boarded before, look into it, dive into it, try it, see what happens for you. The issue that most regular salamander people have with vision boards is if I put this on this board, then it needs to be happening like now. I'm going to give it 6 months. I'm going to give it 3 months. It needs to happen tomorrow. And the reality is, it happens when it's supposed to happen, not when you may want it, but when it's supposed to happen. And to me, it doesn't matter when it happens as long as it happens. So I put marriage, family, and relationship on my vision board since 2012. I didn't get married. I have a family until 2019. Yeah. So it took a while, 7 years to be exact, but 7 years is completion. But it took 7 years. But I've been talking about like that's just what I put on my vision board. But I may have been talking about it years prior to that. So once you begin attracting or using the law of attraction, you're expecting and excited about things to happen, but we don't know when. You never know when, but you know when you'll have it. You'll get it. So small things. Get your poster board, magazines, a few magazines, and start cutting out things that you feel connected to. It could be pictures, it could be ideas, it could be colors, symbols, you name it. Just start cutting it out, add it to the vision board, paste it, tape it, whatever, and put it in a place where you can always have access to it. Now is the best time to do it. We're in the first quarter of the year. Put some things down and see what happens by the end of the year. I would challenge you to do this, and I mean this. Don't take it lightly. Like really allow yourself to step outside your comfort zone, do something you've never done. If you haven't done it before, this is a great chance to start. If you've done it a while ago, never haven't done it since, it's a great place to get back started. So that's vision boarding. It's taking these ideas, these thoughts, the things that you see and putting it into reality. When you put it into reality, it becomes a contract between you and you. You don't have to share it with anybody. Typically, a vision board is very personal. You only share it with people who you feel comfortable sharing it with, because everybody's not going to understand, respect, or value your vision or your vision board. So it's not for everybody, and I want to make sure you protect yourself, because some people can't handle when you do things differently. Some people can't handle the things that we do, especially when it's outside of the norm. And whatever the norm is whatever we say it is. So that's the first piece, vision board. Second piece, parking space. So on the movie The Secret, one of the guys, interviewees, talked about he didn't call it a parking space, he called it a park. I think he was from the UK. He said, "Yeah, when I never had a problem finding a park when I go to a restaurant, go to meetings or whatever. I would always find." He say park. I can't say park. I don't talk like that. So he would say park. I say parking space. So he had this thing where he was able to attract the smallest things, such as a parking space. And I was like, man, that's interesting. So he said, no matter where he goes in life, no matter what he does, what he's doing, and what he's not doing, anytime he's driving, he always finds a parking space right up front. And he said, how I did it is I attract it. I expect it. I anticipate it. I know I'm going to have it. And it was a practice that he had for years, and now it's just the norm. So we can go as small as a parking space or a park, or even smaller as a sandwich at Chick-fil-A. Like really, a sandwich at Chick-fil-A or wherever your favorite restaurant is, start there. Start with something really small that you want to attract, and begin speaking about it and thinking about it, and emotionally getting connected to it, and feeling the taste of a chicken sandwich from from Chick-fil-A or wherever your favorite place that you enjoy dining. Start small and see what happens. I'm telling y'all, don't take my word for it, try it for yourself. So my story, where I decided to use this same system, finding a parking space, started around 2012. And I started being intentional of knowing no matter where I go, I'm going to find a parking space up front. And the first couple times it just didn't happen. And I started to get skeptical about it. And then I had to shift my thinking and my feeling related to a parking space. So then I'm like, whether I get one or not, everything's okay. Versus if I don't get one, then I failed. You know how we get salamanders. So I didn't fail. It just didn't happen this time. So I started changing the way I thought. I changed what I said. I changed my energy around it. And before you know it, I started attracting these parking spaces up front, as well as this guy did. And I kept doing it. And now here we are, all these years later. It's my norm as much as it was that guy's norm on the documentary. So friends and family, people who know me intimately, know that Jason will always get a parking space up front. Everybody knows that. So when me and I first start dating, I told her the trick. I told her my ability, and she thought it was funny. And I wouldn't say she didn't believe me, but she just thought it was funny. But I took her. We went on several dates, and on those several dates, everywhere we went, I had a parking space up front. Everyone. And now it's the norm. So she knows if I'm driving, we're going to get a space up front. If she's driving, it's 50-50 because that's not something she practices. That's not something she may be interested in. But for me, I practice it. I'm interested in it. Yes, I want a parking spot up front. And it's so wild when it's like a parking space, a parking lot that's flooded with cars and people. And I don't worry about that. It's none of my concern. I know my parking space is up front. So I drive to the front of places every single time. And within the matter of time, is an empty space. Somebody's about to leave. Somebody's inviting me in. It's just a part of who I am now. So imagine if you can attract Chick-fil-A sandwich, a vision board, things from your vision board, a parking space by using a law of attraction, imagine what else you can attract. And for me, everything that I have in life is based off of who I became. The person that I am attracted the people, places, and things that I have in my life. I'm telling you what I know, not what I heard. So the person that you are has attracted the people, places, and things in your life right now. That's the law of attraction. So if you're having some hard times, some hard places and spaces with certain people, places, and things, guess what, boo boo? It's you. Yep, that's it. No one else. It's what you attract based off of who you are. Now, you can attract new people, places, and things once you become a new version of you. Similar to this podcast, who we were, who we are, who we're becoming. Do you see how the parallels just repeat themselves over and over again? That's why the show, it's so good to me. I don't know what it is for you, but to me, it's so good because everything connects. And the issue that we have, we don't like connecting all the dots. We just connect the ones that we like, not the ones we don't like. But imagine if you connected all the dots, even the ones you didn't like, and see what happened. Challenge yourself to do this, just that. So, parking space, haven't had a problem in a long time related to parking. I always have a parking space up front because I attract it. So now let's move to the next place in space. And this is my system that I'm offering to you that I created based off of this law of attraction. I want it to be more intentional related to how can I begin attracting things based off of a system. And I want to share this system with you for free. All it's going to cost you is your attention and your time. That is it. That is all. So, first thing, got your notebook, got your journal, got that Gator scales out. Let's get it. First thing is we have to be willing to change the way we think. Yes, indeed. Your thinking is where it starts. Your thinking is where everything starts. So if you say you can or you can't, before you say it, you think it. So if I think I can't do something, then I'm attracting not being able to do something. Think about how often you said you couldn't do something and you didn't do it. This is why you spoke it. Think about how often you said something you wanted and you went and got it. Here's an example. Nobody, and I mean absolutely nobody, goes to the buffet, go goes to the buffet, walks up to the counter and point out everything they don't want and go to their table with a full plate. Nobody does it. So why do we do it in life? I don't want this. I don't want that. I don't want a man who do this. I don't want a woman who do that. I don't want a job. I don't want that. Why are you talking about what you don't want? What's the relevance? There is no relevance beside the relevance that we make around it. So instead of going to a buffet and talking about everything you don't want, you go to the buffet and talk, and you don't even got to talk. You take what you want, you get what you want. What's the point of talking about what you don't want? It's wasted space, time, breath, and everything else in between. So my challenge to you is stop talking about things you don't want. Also, the what if mentality. The what if, anytime you say it, what if this happens, what if that happens, it's all negative and unhealthy things that you don't want to happen. So why are you talking about it? Well, what if this happens and what if that happens? So what? 9 times out of 10, it's not likely to ever happen because it only happens in your mind, not in reality, only in your mind. And your mind is a beautiful place, unless it's dark, scary, which for many of us, it's a dark, scary place in your head. And mine's just nice because I had to clean it out. I had to clean out all the dark, dirty stuff that did not support me, did not help me, did not provide me with a plate full of food at the buffet. So we have to change the way we think. I shared this before, I'll share it again. If you're still out here shoulding on yourself, saying should, you have to change that narrative. If you're still saying what if, you have to change the narrative. Instead of what if you said what is? What is what we know. What if is the ideas that scare us the most. What is what I know for sure. And if I don't know what's for sure based off of what tomorrow will bring, why am I talking about it? I can talk about what I want. That's how I change my thinking. Why am I talking about what I don't want? What's the relevance? So if I change the way I think, the second thing that will happen or has to happen that I'm intentional about is to change the things that I say. How often are you speaking life to yourself? How often are you speaking death to yourself? How often do you compliment you? How often do you accept compliments? Ooh, stepping on toes. Think about it. Somebody give you a compliment, what you do? Compliment them back. You weren't even thinking about them. All of a sudden, oh, you got a nice hat too. Shut up. You wasn't finna say that. But because you can't accept a compliment, you give somebody else one. Change the way you speak by accepting compliments. Oh, that's a nice shirt you got on, Dr. Branch. Why, thank you. Period. Think about next time you get complimented how you respond. I just want you to start checking yourself. Okay. So we have to change the way we speak. So if I'm going to start speaking life, so thinking, let's use this same system for small things. Chick-fil-A, parking space. So the thought is, if I'm thinking I'm going to get a parking space, that's the first step. I'm thinking I'm going to get one. If I'm thinking I'm going to get a sounds from Chick-fil-A, I have to think it first. Then I'm going to speak it. Oh, I'm going to Chick-fil-A today. Somebody going to get me a Chick-fil-A today. I'm going to get Chick-fil-A today. I'm going to get this parking space today. Speak it. Third thing, write it. Whatever it is that you want in life, write it down. Here's an example. What if I asked you to show me exactly where you wanted to be in 3 to 5 years? Could you show it to me? And I ain't talking about charades or being a mime, but without talking, without using words, could you show me? Probably not. Why? Because you haven't written it down. If you have written it down, it's not on you. Understand that when you write things down, especially when it comes to what you're trying to attract, it becomes a roadmap to where you're trying to go. Now, I'm gonna give you a pro tip. I just want to give y'all life. You can do whatever you want to do with it. Since 2012, I've kept an index card in my wallet that lists things that I want to accomplish, I want to have, I want to receive in usually 3 to 5 year increments. And I change that card out about every 3 to 5 years. And every time I look at that card, I'm reminded of it's the law of attraction. It's me being intentional, attracting the things that I want. And more often than not, I forget about the card. And when I pull it out, I see things that are accomplished on it. But it's always on me, which means I can always have access to it. So whenever I think about it, whenever I need it, I can get it. Do you have that? Probably not. Why not? Because nobody's telling us this. Nobody's taught us this unless they have. And if they did, congratulations to you. It wasn't taught to me growing up, but I know it now. And I teach it to my boys. I give it to anybody who want it because it showed me what we're capable of. So write it down. When you write it down, it becomes a contract between you and you. So you take the things from your head, from your mouth, and you put it down on paper. That brings it into reality. That gets you closer to attracting that thing. Let's go back. Jim Carrey and Jack Canfield, they wrote out a blank check. They wrote it before it happened. It was years before it happened, but it happened. And guess what? I got a blank check in my office right now for $1 million, and I've had it for a while, and I expect $1 million will happen. That's the minimum. Also got a dream car on a mouse pad and that model car in my office. I'll talk about that in another episode. But I'm attracting these things and I know it's going to happen because it always does and it always will. Why wouldn't it? I expect it. That's what I mean by changing what you think, changing what you speak, and writing it down. Now, if you change how you think, you change how you speak, you write these things down, will it happen? Maybe, maybe not. But to me, there's two more things that has to happen in order to almost guarantee that you receive. And the next is action. You have to do something. They didn't just write a check and sit back and wait for the money to show up. Nah, they wrote the check and they took action to do something in order to make the money. You got to take action. So the issue that many of us have, we think different, we speak different, we write, but we don't take action. Action is the steps that I'm taking in order to get from one place to the next. Action is movement. Movement gets me from A to B. Now, here's the additional piece. This is with the asterisk that we don't consider that was talked about in The Secret. This is the system that I'm giving you that works because I use it every day. And now you can start using it and start small. You can go as small as a packet of ketchup, Chick-fil-A, as big as a house, as big as a job, as big as a person, a partner, a child, whatever, a million, whatever it is you want. You can go as small or as big as you want, but I highly recommend starting very small first so you can see the power that you actually have. Stick of gum, freaking marker, a random person, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, I would love to get a text from such and such or a phone call from such and such. Or I'm just hearing, I'm feeling this sense of this person. Start small and work your way up. Okay, so here we go from the top. Change the way we think, change the way we speak, write it down, take action. Last is the emotion and feeling. So you have to act as if it's already happened already. So I'm already viewing myself a millionaire, multimillionaire, 100 times over. Money is nothing to me. That's my mindset right now. This car is it's nothing to me. It's a mean and mode of transportation. It's nice, but it's a mode of transportation. A to B, A to Z, right? But the emotion is the feeling that you have around the person, place, or thing. So when it comes to me and my relationship, I always imagine this person or how this life would be. And now I have it. With children, how it would be as a dad, I imagined it. Now I have it. Me as a therapist, me as a counselor educator, me with a doctorate. I was calling myself Dr. Branch way before I even got into a doc program. I'm out here like, yeah, I'm Dr. Branch. People considered me Dr. Branch before I ever got into a program because I saw me in it way before anybody else. Excuse me. Whew. Under the weather, but again, I got to give you this message because I don't know how long I'm gonna be here in life. Nobody does. So sick and shut in or not, you finna get this love. You finna get hit in the head with a honey bun. So the emotion is the last piece, and this is the asterisk because you have to put feeling around it. Think about when you talk about what if. Think about when you talk about the things you don't want. You put emotion and feeling behind it. This isn't gonna work out. I'm gonna fail, or it's not this, or I'm never gonna be that. You put emotion in it, and that's to make sure it don't happen. I challenge you to change things up. Challenge you, change things up. So this is what I wanted to offer related to the law of attraction. The secret: you think, speak, write, take action, and put your emotion into it. Now, sidebar. This came up. I got to talk about it. It ain't related to where we are, but it's related to life. Where it's talking about canceling Will Smith, right? And the reality is, you can't cancel anybody who has a following or a community. All right. You can't. You can't. Think about it. I just want to talk about this for a minute. You ain't asked for it, but it's part of this. Think about it. A couple years ago, Oscars, Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. It was the talk of the town. It was the biggest story for days, weeks, months. And, everybody was like, cancel Will Smith and it's this and that. And Jada, it was just a lot of talk. That's just what it was, talk. Because Will Smith never got canceled. Yeah, there may be a few people that stopped following or paying attention or supporting, but it wasn't everybody. Because when somebody rocks with you, it don't matter what you do. When somebody rock with you and they down for you, it don't matter what you do. They gonna roll with you. Do you know why? Because we're humans and human beings will always do human things. And being a human being who is full of flaws, meaning all of us, how dare I judge? How dare I decide to stop following or connecting with someone because of their behavior, especially somebody I don't know? Because I'm sure ain't too many people that I know Will Smith. Not like know him. You know of him, but you don't know that man. So how can you cancel somebody you don't even know? I just want to share that thought. And as you can see, here we are. I don't know how many years later. It wasn't that long. Will Smith back top of the box office. He back making movies. He back on the scene. He ain't lost a step. He ain't lost a dime. Why? Because you can't cancel somebody who has a following. They may lose a couple people, but they can't lose in life. So how do you take this same concept and apply it to yourself? For me, I'll never get canceled because you can't cancel me. I'm like Will Smith. You may be upset at me, but I can't be canceled. How does this connect to the law of attraction? I'm glad you asked. Will Smith is one of the biggest people, one of the biggest Hollywood celebrities known to man, right? Universal. And Will Smith has been practicing the law of attraction since he was a kid. He always visualized himself doing the things that he's doing, being the person he's being, having the body he has, uh, having the wife, the family that he has, having the lifestyle he has. He dreamed it. He thought it. He spoke it. He wrote about it. He took action and he put emotions behind it and it came to pass. Will Smith already knew he would be doing all the things that he was doing because he attracted it in his life, in his mind, before it ever happened in reality. We all caught up. Time caught up. The studios and Universal, all these different things caught up to him, but he always knew, he always thought that he would have, and he still believes it to this day. So he's an example of someone who follows the law of attraction and it works for him and for anybody that uses it. So since Will Smith isn't canceled, unless he's canceled for you, start doing research on any interviews. Just start finding, I would say, look at 3 to 5 interviews that Will Smith has done, and you'll hear him talk about the law of attraction. But if you're not aware, if you don't know about it, it'll go right over your head. But now that you're aware, if you start paying attention to what's being said, he's going to speak, he's going to think, he's going to write, he's going to take action. There's going to be emotion. Any celebrity that's doing really well are using the same language. Celebrities, entertainers, whoever. They thought it, they spoke it, they write it, they took action, they put emotion behind it. I don't know any other way towards success outside of these principles. If you know, let me know. Until then, holla at your boy. This has been another episode of Three Parallels Podcast with your favorite host, the Dr. Jason Branch, where we rediscover who we were, we embrace who we are, and we make room for who we're trying to become. If this show has been a gift, a blessing, a lesson, anything for you, don't keep it to yourself. Like, share, comment, subscribe, send it, give it away. And don't miss an episode. So make sure you're subscribing because where we're about to go next, we just finished the first quarter. You know, we closing out March. Going into April, we just finished the first quarter of 2025. And I'm telling you, the show is going to continue to grow. It's going to continue to change. It's going to continue to develop. You know why? Because the host is. I'm constantly changing, evolving, which means the show has to change and evolve as well. If you've been following from the beginning, you see how it's changing. It's going to continue to do that until it doesn't. And there's that. Have a great day, great week, great month, great year, great life, great moment. Attract all that you want, that you deserve to have. Have a great day.